Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta jana kalyani niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahma vidvaram. Kalabhyam chudalankrita shashikalabhyam nijatapaha Palabhyam bhakteshu prakatita palabhyam bhavatu me Shivabhyam astoga tribhuvana shivabhyam hridi punaha Bhavabhyam ananda spuradhanubhavabhyam nidiriyam. Ankolam nijabita santirayaskanto palam suchika. 61, verse number 61. We'll chant those which we have covered already. Ankolam nijabita santadirayaskanto palam suchika. Sadvi naijavivam latakshidiruham. Sindhu saridvallabam prapnoti hayata tate pashupate padaravindatvayam cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada sa bhaktirityuchyate. 31. Nalamba paramopakaramidam tva idam tvekam pashunam pate pashyan kukshikadan characharaganan bahyastitan rakshitum sarvamartyapalayanaushadamadijvala karam bikaram nikshiptam karalam galena galitam Nodgirname Vatvaya. Smrito, number 5. Smrito Shastre Vaidye Shakuna Vikadaga. Smrito Shastre Vaidye Shakuna Kavita Gana Panito. Purane mantre va stuti natana hasya ishvachaturah katam rajñam pritir bhavati mayiko ham pashupate pashum mam sarvajña pratita kripaya palaya vibho. I think we stopped there, right? First one was about invocation of the Lord. about his beautiful physical description. Then what is bhakti was stated, like that of the Angola tree, whose seeds, as soon as they fall, they immediately get merged into the tree itself. Just like the iron filings are so attracted to the iron magnet, just like a beloved wife constantly contemplating upon the arrival of one's own husband, just like the creepers that are entirely depending upon the tree on which they survive, just like the river that is flowing, eagerly waiting to merge with the ocean, O Lord Pashupate, may my mind ever abide in your lotus feet, and that is called bhakti. Interesting thing is, in the case of a beloved wife waiting for her husband, she is waiting and husband is coming for her. Whereas in the case of a nadi, it is going towards the ocean itself. Therefore, it is said bhakti is of dvividam. One is you wait for the Lord to take care, or you go towards him to surrender. Now, interesting thing is, it's called the Nyaya, or very interesting Nyaya that is brought in. Markata Nyaya, one is called Markata Nyaya. What is it that? And another is where the example is where the monkey is going from branch to branch, and the little one has to hold on to that monkey's shoulders for it to go with that monkey. Meaning it is a responsibility of the little one to hold on to the mother. Whereas if you look at a kitten, it will just lie down. The mother will carry it. So the option is for you whether you want the Lord to come to you or you go to the Lord. Which is that you prefer? Say, I always ask this question to the children. When you are in a crowded place, you are going with your dad, you hold on to the hand of the finger of your dad, or you will allow the daddy to hold on to your hand. Which one you do? So when you hold on, it is your responsibility. When you don't, it is his responsibility. So it is for a bhakta, it is his responsibility. Thy will be done, thy will be done. You do it. I am only completely surrendering to you. It's called prapatti. I surrender to you. It is your responsibility to take care of me. Yoga kshemam vahamyam, you only said unnecessarily. So you have to take care. But the point, what is that the bhakta has to do? Sarvam render. That's called surrender. So you have to completely surrender. Which means what? You must totally eschew and destroy your ego. Then only Bhagavan say, then I will take care of it. Maya saktamana partha yogam yunjan madashraya asamshayam samagramma yatagnasyasi tachrum. Beginning of 7th chapter, Bhagavan says, Mai asakta manaha, Mai ashraya, mat ashraya. Asakti or ashraya, dono different aspect to it. In the beautiful commentary, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Asakti or ashraya, ek hi cheez mein hona chahiye. But we are what? Our asakti is somewhere else, ashraya is somewhere else. Asakti means attachment. And beautiful example Shankaracharya brings there is, if you are working for someone, you are not having attachment to that person. Your attachment to your wife or husband or children or family, but you are working for taking support of your boss, your work, etc. So you are working not because you have attachment to that, but your attachment somewhere else. So if I ask you, whom are you working for? What is your answer? If you are going to work, whom are you working? What is your answer? Where are you working, you can say. But whom are you working for? For my family. Where are you working? In IBM. No, IBM is not for which you are working. You are working for your family. So Asakti in the family, but Ashraya is in the workplace. Bhagavan says, I don't accept that. आसक्ति भी मुझे होना चाहिए, मेरे होना चाहिए, और आश्रय भी मुझे होना चाहिए. That is the reason why Bhagavan says, Maya saktamana partha yogam yunjan mad ashraya. Then asamshayam mam samagram. You will understand me then. Mam nyasyasi. What you will know, tachrun. So, where Asakti and Ashraya both are in the Lord, that is called Bhakti. When we are Ashraya is for worldly things, and Asakti is for worldly things, and Ashraya for the Lord, then Bhagavan says no. That is the reason why when we go to the temple, we have a whole list running in our head. I want this, 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 I want this. But you may chant Narayana, 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 Narayana. The list is going on inside. It is said that one long queue was there and people were going to Bhagavan, Narayana, 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 Narayana. That lady went after chanting. Again she came back. She forgot some more things in her hand. मुझे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. So, Ashraya or Asakti, both should be on the Lord. That is called Bhakti. So the example is here, just like the Sadvi Neja Vibham Ladak Shitiruham. Ladak Shitiruham is Ashraya. Shiti, Shitiruha means Shiti, Shiti means Bhumi or earth. Bhumau Rohati. Shitiruham. Ruha means Rohati. That which grows on the ground, that is Vriksha. So, Vrikshashraya Lata, the creeper that is having dependence on the tree, how it is so totally taking the support of the tree and survives. So that is why he gives different examples. Just like a sadhvi waiting for her husband, just like the creeper is depending upon the tree, just like the river merging into the ocean. May my mind ever abide at the feet of the Lord. People ask, Pada Aravinda, you said, right? Pada Aravinda. Aravinda means lotus. Very often we come across this word lotus feet, lotus feet. Actually, feet is not like lotus. Lotus feet, lotus. Don't we say at the lotus feet of the Guru? What is it lotus have got to do with that? They have some BJP connection or something? No. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, not like that. As you all know, that lotus, even though in the water it doesn't sink. Isn't it? That is what is said in Gita also. Brahmanyadaya karmani sangam tyaktva karodiyah lipyate nasa papena patmapatram ivambasa. So the Bhagavan as well as the Mahatmas, they are part of the world as though, but never participate. Participate in the sense they will never get caught up or involved to get completely sunk by the worldly things. They are not going to be caught up in the worldly affairs. So they are there like that of the lotus, which is floating in the water, but never gets wet by the water. So also, Brahmani adaya karmani sangam tektva karoti. So Bhagavan also is part of this world also. He himself is none other than the expression of the whole world. But Bhagavan says, Tasya kartaram abhimam vidya akartaram. I am the doer. At the same time, I am not the doer. Aham upadana karanam nimitta karanam api. I am the nimitta upadana karana of the whole world. But I am not caught up in this change. Avyaya bhavaha mama na vyayam gacchati mama swarupam. Never it becomes subject to change. So that's why Padaravinda is given there. So also we saw yesterday that, oh Lord, I have not studied anything. Smrito Shastre Vaidye Shaguna Kavita Gana Panito. None of these great skills I have. Purane mantre va stuti natana asyeshu achaturaha. I am not an expert in any one of them. Whether it's a dance or the music or this and that, kavita, poetry, shastra, purana. Katam ragyam pritir bhavati mayi. How can anybody who has wealth to, anybody who can support, nobody can, even king cannot do anything about it because I'm not of any use to anybody. Koham pashupate. Who am I? He says pashum mam. I'm like an animal, so useless. Therefore, sarvajna pratita kripaya, with your well-known compassion, palaya vibhu. As I said yesterday, that even Narada, who has become such a skillful master of so many kalas, yet shokasya param tarayatu. He went and asked Sanat Kumaras, I know all the things, Shastra I know, all the Chaturvedas I know. Therefore, I am called Chaturvedi also. People who keep name Chaturvedi, we ask them, what are the 4 Vedas? I think Ramayana, Mahabharata, and what else? Trivedi, they keep the last name. They also don't know. Dvivedi, they also don't know. Vedi means only one Veda you should know. Best is to call it as Avedi. Covid. Covid actually means expert. So here, I do not know anything. So please protect me. My qualification is 0. You are the only resort. And Bhagavan likes innocence. There is a difference between innocence and ignorance. Ignorance is, as I said yesterday, we do not even know what we don't know. If we know what we don't know, we will be humble. Is it not true? And we don't even know what we don't know. And we think we know. That is what's called arrogance. Little knowledge is dangerous. Alpa jnanam bhayankaram. So it is very, especially those who don't know cooking and then they say they know, that's major trouble. They bring food to me, assaulted food. It is assaulted food, no salt at all. That's called assaulted. So are they a bit insulted food? Too much of salt they put. I say neither assault nor insult I accept. So then they ask, so then you cook. If I know why I don't want to ask for you people to do that. So apurna jnanam api ajnanam. Ajnanam is not only absence of knowledge, apurna jnanam api ajnanam. Even incomplete knowledge is called ignorance. Shastra jnanam alone is not sufficient. It should become aparoksha jnana. Then only it is complete. Paroksha jnanam is also only ignorance only. That's why Bhagavan is saying, jnanam teham savijnanam. He says, I'll give knowledge and how to experiment and experience that knowledge. Then only you are complete. Otherwise, and as Upanishad would say, that those who know, they think they know, but Pariyanti Mudaha, they think that they know, and then they roam around in this world. Andena Niyamanayatanta. Anganyamanaha Pariyanti Mudaha. Swayam Dira Panditam Manyamanaha. They think that they know, and they lead everybody to blind, leading the blind. So Apurna Jnanam Abhi Ajnanam only. Because when you do not have completeness in the knowledge, it is as good as not having that knowledge, because it is not your own experience. So here, when one submits, I don't know, it is easy for such a person to guide. It's like one tabla master had a board which said, if you know tabla, it is $25 per hour. If you don't know tabla, $10 per hour. Why? Because that fellow had to be unlearned before he would be taught. You have to undo him before I start teaching him. It's extra work. It's like you go to a barber, you are almost no hair, he will charge more. Because he said, I have to search and cut. It is said that those who bald in the front, they are intelligent people. Those who bald behind, they are wise people. Those who are completely bald, they think that they are wise. Don't look at me. Now, so innocence, that Bhagavan likes so much, that the famous story comes here in 63. Margavartita Paduka Pashupati Angasya Kurchayate Gandu Shambu Vinishechanam Puraripo Divyabhishekayate Kinchit Bhakshidamamsa Shesha Kavalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti Kim Nakarodyaho Vanacharo Bhaktavatam Sayate Margavartita Paduka Pashupati Rangasya Kurchayate Gandu Shambhu Nishechanam Puraripor Divya Vishekayate Kinchit Bhakshidamamsa Shesha Kavalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti Gimna Karodyaho Vanacharo Bhaktavatam Sayate. Ayate means becomes. Bhavati. And what is that? As you know, the famous story of Timmappa, a hunter by nature, by his tradition or by his living style, living in the forest adjacent to the very well known in Andhra. What is that place? Kalahasti. There, that very Kalahasti, he was living, and it is said that in many different places it is mentioned that he was none other than the rebirth of Arjuna. Arjuna, as you know, as he wanted to get the Pashupati Astra, Pashupatehe Astram, Pashupati Astram. You know the difference between Astram and Shastram? Astram means that which is released from the hand. Shastram, which is that is held by the hand. A spear is, a sword is a shastra, whereas a bow and arrow is a astra. An arrow is an astra, because as is to throw. That which is attacked by throwing, a bullet, a gun is a astram. Missile is astram. It is released from the hand. Whereas when you hold it in the hand and do not release it, it becomes shastra. So Pashupati Astra is what he wanted to for the ensuing war. And therefore, he learned from Krishna that I need to get it from Bhagavan Shiva only. So he meditated upon Bhagavan Shiva, and Shiva knew that this Arjuna is waiting for this. So he took the form of a Kirataka, a hunter. And then a boar was led out by him to test Arjun. Arjun woke up to see that this boar was there. So his natural Kshatriya Swabhava came. He took his bow and arrow and shot at it. And he was so confident that definitely it would be killed. So he went there, looked at it. 2 arrows were there. He was really agitated. How can that be? I released. And the chinna that was there, it was not his. The arrow has got a particular signia. That was somebody else's signia was there. So he looked at it, who it could be? That is a running boar. I am only capable, and if somebody else is there, there is a problem. Because if he jams the Kaurava party, it will be a problem for me. Already I have done one with Ekalaiva, but this is major problem now. Who is this? As he was wondering, then Kirataka came there, that is Bhagavan Shiva, but in a disguised form. He said, that is mine. So Arjuna said, no way, it is mine only. You see, both of them are, I have shot the deer, the boar. So therefore, whose is that? So let us ask the boar itself. That's dead. So then they both started to fight, and then really there was a big fight between these duel. And in the process, of course, Bhagavan Shiva, lenient on Arjun, accepted that, okay, you are a great Arjun, no doubt. But he was not defeated. He just accepted, all right, after some time. But then he realized this Arjuna has got a lot of arrogance about this. I have to teach him a lesson. He gave him the Pashupati Astra, no doubt. It is said that then that Arjuna, because of his arrogant fighting with Shiva, he had to come out as a hunter. So that is why it is that the Timmappa is considered to be an avatar of Arjuna himself. So this hunter, he was going around, and then he found there in the middle of the forest once an ancient temple, Shiva temple. Naturally attracted to that, he walked up. It was on the top of a hill. So therefore, he walked up there only to find it was beautifully decorated Shiva Murti, Shivalinga, with a lot of flowers and all various Naivedyams, etc. were kept there. And he looked at it and said, so overwhelmed by devotion. Next day, he went to again to the temple by the meat which he had prepared out of what he has hunted, and he carried that. And obviously, he cannot carry too many things in his hand. So therefore, he took the water in his mouth and meat in his hand. And he went there. And when he reached there, and he removed all that was already decorated, therefore, he used his slippers, Margavartida Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate. Kurcha means the cleaning grass with which you clean the Shivalinga, called Kusha grass. Kurcha ayate. That becomes, what has become the Kurcha or the cleaning, what you call the Kusha grass? His footwear. Because he was not of the tradition. He did not have that concept of worship as it is traditionally done with great reverence. He had devotion, no doubt, but not the tradition of doing it. So he used the path, his own footwear to clean. And then he used the mouthful of water to do abhishekam for the Lord. And he cleaned it up. And then some wild flowers were there he offered. And the meat he gave to the Lord. And so it's true. I mean, I was sitting there praying for the Lord to take the food, and lo and behold, Bhagavan was consuming it. It disappeared. Next day, the usual priest, when he came, he was utterly shocked to see the remnants of the meat there. He said, what? What is going on here? Who did this? With all the chanting the mantras and then taking the holy water and cleaned up the entire place, again decorated the Lord properly with a regular traditional worship, and he kept it ready. And then he said, let me hide and see who is coming here like this. Next day also, he came in the same way. With the slipper he removed. He started to clean. And this priest was sitting there. He just couldn't believe his eyes. And he said, let me see what he's doing finally. And meat he brought, gave it there. And to the utter surprise, the meat started to disappear slowly. What? Even every day I am performing the puja. But all of them intact there only. So what will happen if Bhagavan takes? Nowadays, if you give and then he takes it, you don't keep it there. You give only little there. Prasad nahi milega. So he saw that this is very, miracle is happening. So this way, a few days passed by. Every day he will then again clean the whole thing. One day it so happened when the same Mutimappa went there, and as soon as he saw the Lord, there was a totally shocked. He was shocked by what? One right eye of his Bhagavan's right side, the eye where the eye would be, started to have blood coming out. Blood? He never felt it is only a stone. He felt it is Bhagavan himself. So he saw the blood. He said, how there is such a blood? He tried to remove the blood coming out of it. It was coming again and again and again. So the eyes are hurt. So what do I do? Oh Lord, you have lost your eyes. Maybe that is the reason. So he took his bow and took his own eyes, one eye, and put it there. Immediately the blood stopped. Yeah, he was so happy. See, at least I could do something for the Lord. That Bhagavan's eye is replaced by my eyes. Good. As even he started to enjoy that, other side, left side, the blood started coming out. Now he said, what do I do now? Now he said, he has only one eye. Now he cannot place the other eye unless he has a way to know where to place. He took his foot and kept it on the eye of the Lord, which was bleeding, and started to remove the other eye of his own. Bhagavan then, Kannappa, that's the time he got the name Kannappa. Kanna means eye. Oh, Kannappa, stop. I know that so much of devotion that I am ready to give up anything and everything for the Lord. And he considered that as not as a physical, some stone there. It's Bhagavan himself. How many of us have that attitude when we come? Many times we see that we know how to do abhishekam and this and that, but we do not feel that it is to the Lord I am doing. We always, if we have that feeling, our attitude when you stand there will be totally different. It is said one person was doing puja for Shiva only, but before that he finished Ganesha's puja. And after finishing Ganesha Puja, and he had lit the agarbatti there and kept it there for offering to Bhagavan Shiva also. Then he came to Shivalinga to perform. And at that time he saw the agarbatti, the smoke was going only to Ganesha constantly. Sometimes you will see that, the waft goes there. Then stop it. If you keep having it, when do I give it to your father? Bhagavan Ganesha appeared. This is the first time you acknowledge I am present. Until then you thought that I am only just a stone. Is it not happened some few years back? When you started giving milk, it just went on and on and on and on. The whole world came to a standstill at that time. At that time, milk was the usual price was probably some 25 rupees in India. 150, 200. Why? A milk was just going in and disappearing. How many of you saw that? At least I saw it. So one day he took. That's it. Everything came to a standstill. And some people say, oh, it's a scientific reasoning, whatever it is. But when we are in front of the Lord, even as the Murti of the Lord, we must have the feeling that this is Bhagavan. So here, Margavartita Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate Gandusha Ambu. That means that mouth full of ambu water, Nishechanam, with which you have done the Abhisheka, Puraripoho Divyabhishekayate. It becomes a Divya Abhishek, divine Abhisheka for the Lord, a sprinkling of water for the Lord. And Kinchit Bhakshita Mamsa Shesha Kavalam, half-eaten mamsa, not even fully cooked and fully, is already consumed a little bit and then only gave to the Lord. Because like Shabari did, after tasting only she gave. Lakshmana said, I don't want it. But Rama took it with great joy. Because she is giving it out of so much of love. After tasting, making sure it is tasty, then only she gave it to. Many times when Bhiksha people also come to me and say, Swamiji, I never tasted the food. I said, become at least a Shabari, don't make me suffer. Because if it is not good, anyway, I didn't taste it. I don't know. Better taste it before you give it to me. So, here, Bhagavan had taken the already eaten food. Kinchit Bhakshita, Mamsa Shesha, whatever is left behind, Kavalam, handful of that. Navyopaharayate. Navyopahara means freshly cooked. Obviously, when we offer just naivedyam, when we do nava, means it is new, cooked freshly. Nowadays, that also they don't do, people. They get it from the market and then put it there. Isn't it? Because if you give your own food, probably Bhagavan won't survive. That's why you have to be a little careful. So, Navyopaharayate. Navya Upahar, a newly freshly cooked, as though Bhaktim Kimna Karoti. Oh, Bhagavan, what devotion cannot? Vanacharaha Bhakta Avatam Sayate. A mere unpad, unlettered, a forest dweller also is a great devotee of yours, who has no tradition, no background, no idea of worship. So he is putting himself in that, I am like that. See, I don't know anything. I have no idea of how to worship you, or what mantra to chant, what shastra to study. I don't know Ganam, as he said before. I don't know Kavita. I don't know Hasyam. I don't know Natanam. I don't know Shastra. I don't know Smriti. So what is the Bhaktasya Lakshanam, or what is the qualification of Bhakta? So we have, for Vedanta, we have Adhikari Lakshanas are there. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Uparadi, Diksha, Shraddha, Samadha. Usme bhakti nahi hai. Bhakti nahi means usme bhakti nahi hai. It's not mentioned, right? Shama, Dhamma, Uparadi, Ditya, Shraddha, Samadha, Viveka, Vairagya, Moksha. That's why Bhagavan Shankara, when he says what? moksha sadhana samagryam bhakti reva gariyasi. Among all the moksha sadhana samagris, bhakti excels. Because once you have that, all of them will come. Viveka, Vairagya, Satsampati, everything will be there. That's why Bhagavan Krishna also says, Teshamaham samuddarda mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat martha maya veshita chintasam. Teshamaham samuddarda mrityu samsara sagarat. Right? Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma samstaha what? Jnana deepena bhasvata. If those people who are completely surrendered to me and thinking about me, I become the giver of knowledge to them. And teshameva anukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayishyami atma bhavastaha dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. It is my responsibility to give them that knowledge. So, kim na karodi bhakti, bhaktim kim na karodi aho vanachara, bhaktavatam sayati. He is considered as a 10th Nayanar. Out of 63 Shiva saints, he is considered as the 10th, the Kannappa Nayanar. So, what was his qualification? Compared to Sundara Nayanar and such other people who are great scholars? None. But yet, because of that absolute innocent devotion. And that's why he mentions this as a qualification of a devotee. Next is 85. Jaladi matana daksho naiva patala bidi Najavana mrugayayam naiva luptha praveenaha Ashana kusuma pusha vastra mukhyam samarpyam Saparyam kadaya kadamaham te kalpayani indumole Jaladi matana daksho naiva patala bedi Najavana mrugayayam naiva luptha praveenaha Ashana kusuma bhusha vastra mukhyam saparyam Kadaya kadamaham te kalpayani indumole. Indumole, one who has beautiful crescent on his forehead. Hey, Indumole, I do not know what to offer to you. Saparyam kadaya kadamaham. Saparya means worship. How do I do the worship with asana, eatable, kusuma, flowers, bhusha, ornaments, vastra mukhyam, best of the clothes. With that saparya, worship, kataya, katamaham, how do I do it? Because you are not a normal person to, wear worldly things. Meaning you wear things which are, as I said yesterday, others have rejected. That's what you wear, or you have it in your body. Jaladi madana daksha. The snake, that is Jaladi madana daksha. I am not the one who is daksha, skillful to have done this matanam. I am not the one who has done I have no skill to do the churning of the ocean, because of which, as we saw yesterday, the garalam, visham has come. That I cannot offer to you. That is what you drink. That is what you eat, it looks like. So I wrote this point. Jaladi madana dakshanaiva aham garalam dattum ashaktaha. I am incapable of giving you that garalam which you seem to be taking, because I am not able to churn the ocean. Then he says, Naiva Patala Bedi. I am not the one who can go to the lowermost region. As you know, the 14 worlds that are there, upper worlds are known as 7 upper worlds. Bhuhu, Bhuha, Suha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Then the lower 7 worlds, Atala, Vitala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. Hatala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala. Patala is a lowermost Netherland. Sorry, not Nether world. So there is the Vasuki, supporter of the whole universe, all the 14 worlds, which is also your own ornament. So I cannot give you bhushanam for you. Patala bedinaham nagabaranam katam tubhyam samarpayami. How do I offer you Nagabhushana where I cannot go to that Patala? To break the earth and go there, I can't do it. It is there in Tulsi Ramayana also, when the Parvati, Shiva Parvati Vivaha, another funny thing is what ornaments she was wearing. They can't hold of all the snakes available. And one becomes over, one becomes a headgear, another becomes this. Simple. No gold, nothing. He doesn't need. That's why it is said that Bhagavan Shiva is what? Ashutosha. Simple things will make him happy. Ashu, quickly. He will become very happy very quickly. But angry also very quickly. Yeah? You have to be careful. So, I do not have any access to this Patala to give you that Vasuki as your belt or any Abharanam. Nachavana mrgayayam naiva lubdha praveenaha. I am also not a vanachari. I am not a hunter. Vana mrgayayam. Mrga means to hunt. And I am not the one who is able to hunt down for you. Na lubdha praveenaha. So even that I am not capable of. Therefore, vanamrgayam neva lubdha praveenaha kadam tava gaja charmamjaram dhatum shakyaha. Gaja charmambaram is what he wears. He wears the skin of an elephant. You know that story, right? When the beginning of the Upadeshara, it is said to be a story where the rishis and munis were sitting and performing various rituals. But interesting thing is they believe that karmana eva sarvam phalam prapyade, and therefore they were only doing karma. They totally forgot who gives the karma phala data kaun. They forgot that, because it is Bhagavan Krishna also says, Kshipram hi manusham manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. That's why people are so fond of doing karma than worship. And if you go to any elaborate rituals they do, their rituals take more precedence than Bhagavan himself. They do so much so karma. In the process, they forgot the Lord also. And therefore they were doing. Then Bhagavan Shiva said, these fellows have forgotten whom they are doing for. Who is giving the result of the action? So he came as a young mendicant and looked at them. They never bothered. Okay. He went to their houses. And the women of the house, they were doing work. And he was such a young man. So they got enamored by him. And he started walking into the forest. They all went behind. So the rishis were doing, our wives are going somewhere else. Who is this guy? So they left everything. They started running behind him. He disappeared into the forest. So then their mantra powers they used, and this and that. They even sent a tiger. He killed that also. Then he sent an elephant. He tore that skin and put it on his body. So then they realized, who are you? Is it the one who is giving karma phala data? That's when it is said, Karturajnaya prapyate palam karma kim param karma jadam. Kartu ajnaya, Ishwara ajnaya, palam prapyate na karmana. Karma tu jadam. So that charmambaram is written, I mean, he is wearing that, tad vastram katam daktum shakyate. Katam datum shakyate. How do I give? Because I do not know hunting. Ashana, kusuma, bhusha, vastra, mukhyam, samarpyam, tate katamaham te. Kalpayani. How do you make it? So he is not only saying, I don't know Shastra and all those things, but I am also not having enough skills of even worship. Oh Lord, therefore, would you accept me as your bhakta? That's what is question here in this verse. But I know one thing, that it does not matter who I am. You look for what in me, that he says in verse number 10. Naratvam devatvam nagavana mrugatvam mashakata pashutvam kitatvam bhavatu vihagatva dijananam sada tvatpadabja smarana paramananda lahari vihara saktam chet hridayamiha kim tena vabhusha naratvam devatvam nagavana mrugatvam mashakata pashutvam kitatvam bhavatu vihagatva dijananam sada tvatpadabja smaranam aramananda lahari vihara saktam chet hridayamiha kim tena vabhusha. Vabhusha kim tena. Kim vabhusha? By what the physical body has got to do with worship? Sada tvat padabja smarana paramananda lahari vihara saktam chet. In case vihara saktam, ability to relish and enjoy, hridaye iham, hridayam iham, mama hridayam, if my heart can enjoy the blissful nature of devotion to your heart, to your own lotus feet, sada tvat padabja smaranam, very remembrance of your own lotus feet, paramananda lahari, it's a wave of bliss, vihara saktam, to relish there, ched hridayamiha, in my heart, kim tena vabhusha, then what form I take, how does it matter? Naratvam devatvam, whether it is a human body, devatvam, or it is a devata body, nagavana mrugatvam mashakata, or the one which is living in the forest, nagavana, vrikshavana, mrugatvam, maybe the animals that are there as an animal, or mashakata, even mosquito. So when you are hitting a mosquito, please remember, it may be a Parama Bhakta of the Lord also. He can also sing. You cannot sing, but he will sing better than you. No, one American couple, they were in India and somewhere, and a lot of mosquitoes. So especially when you go from this part of the world, they like you. It's a different kind of, they smell, they know this is imported stuff. So they come to you more, more intensely they will come to you. The Indians, they leave behind. I mean, those who are living there. So they went there and so they tried all methods, they won't go away. So they decided to go under the bed. So they may not come. In the meanwhile, the fireflies, they started appearing. David, they are coming with flashlights now. Looking for us. So even the mosquito, which is bloodsuckers, Pashutvam, any kind of animal, Kidatvam, worms, Bhavatu, Vihatvadi Jananam. Vihaga means Vihe Gachati. Vihayam Gachati, sorry, Viha is feminine. Vihayam Gachati. That which is flying in the sky, that is even the bird, Vihagatwadi Jananam, Bhavatu, let it be. Sadat Vatpada Prasmarana Paramananda Lahari Vihara Saktam Hridayam Ihachet. If even in that physical body, whatever be it, if my heart is able to enjoy the bliss of your presence by remembering your lotus feet, what body I take, how does it matter? That is to say, the traditional and usual worship, that alone can make the Bhagavan happy. Do not even have that idea. It is the heart with the Lord is more important than anything, any mantra you chant, any ritual you perform, any offering that you give. Is it not Bhagavan also said? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam. Whatever it be, bhakti upahritam, which is given with great devotion, tadashnami prayadatmana. Gurudev used to say, patram means check leaves. Even that you should offer with shraddha and bhakti. So anything that you offer, if it is endowed with devotion, Bhagavan takes only that. That's why you confidently give the prasad, because he takes only the devotion out of that. After all, when we are giving anything, do you mean to say anything that is not his is you are giving? So if I come to your house, and from your garden I pick up a flower, and flower to you. Kahan se mila? Your garden only. Just now I coming, I picked it up. You feel, why did you pick up from my own garden? So which is not his that you are going to give him? That's why we chant, no, Tera Tujko Arpan. Is it not that we say? Kya lage mera? But the plate is mine. Fruit is yours. We are very clever, Take the fruit, but give them the plate back. So here he says, what doesn't matter? What does it matter? Which body it is? Kim tena vapusha, that is naratvam, devatvam, mrigatvam, mashakata. So it does not male or female, human or non-human. You see the stories of, in the Bhagavatam also, it's a Gajendra. So what, it doesn't matter which form it is. What is most important is the heart that is reveling in the bliss of the remembrance of the Lord. Smarana Paramananda Lahari Vihara Saktam. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.